The seal of the living God. What is the seal of the living God? In the book of Revelation chapter 7 and verse 4 we hear, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And we backtrack to verse 1 of chapter 7. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow upon the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Verse 2, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the sea, to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So we're going to find out what is the seal of the living God. And we go to Last Day Events by Ellen G. White. What is the seal of God? Last Day Events, and we go to chapter 15, page 219. Just as soon as the people of God are sealed in their foreheads, it is not any seal or mark that can be seen, but a settling into the truth. It is a settling into the truth, both intellectually and spiritually, so they cannot be moved. Friend, wouldn't you want to have that experience? Be settled in the truth, that you cannot forever backslide, you can never change course. Just as soon as God's people are sealed and prepared for the shaking, it will come. It will come. Indeed, it has begun already. The seal of the living God is placed upon those who conscientiously keep the Sabbath of the Lord. Those who would have the seal of God in their foreheads must keep the Sabbath of the 4th commandment. Sabbath of the 4th commandment in Exodus chapter 20, 8 to 11. True observance of the Sabbath is a sign of loyalty to God. True observance of the Sabbath is a sign of loyalty to God, the 7th-day Sabbath. The 4th commandment alone of all the 10 contains the seal of the great lawgiver, the creator of the heavens and the earth. The observance of the Lord's memorial, the Sabbath instituted in Eden, the 7th-day Sabbath, is a test of our loyalty to God. A mark is placed upon every one of God's people, just as verily as a mark was placed over the doors of the Hebrew dwelling to preserve the people from the general ruin. God declares, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctified them. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 12. The seal of the living God will be placed upon those only who bear a likeness to Christ in character. Did you hear that, friends? The seal of the living God will be placed upon those only who bear a likeness to Christ in character. Those who receive the seal of the living God and are protected in the time of trouble must reflect the image of Jesus fully. Those who receive the seal of the living God and are protected in the time of trouble must reflect the image of Jesus fully. The seal of God will never be placed upon the forehead of an impure man or woman. The seal of God will never be placed upon the forehead of an impure man or woman. It will never be placed upon the forehead of the ambitious, world-loving man or woman. It will never be placed upon the forehead of men or women of false tongues or deceitful hearts. All who receive the seal must be without spot before God, candidates for heaven. Is this describing your character or what you hope to become? Love is expressed in obedience, and perfect love casteth out all fear. Those who love God have the seal of God in their foreheads and work the works of God. Those who overcome the world, the flesh, and the devil will be the favored ones who shall receive the seal of the living God. Are we striving with all our God-given power to reach the measure of the stature of men and women in Christ? Are we seeking for his fullness, ever reaching higher and higher, trying to attain to the perfection of his character? When God's servants reach this point, they will be sealed in their foreheads. The recording angel will declare, "It is done." They will be complete in him, whose they are by creation and by redemption. The servant of the Lord goes on to say, in a little while, everyone who is a child of God will have his seal placed upon him. Oh, that it might be placed upon our foreheads. We can endure the thought, who can endure the thought of being passed by when the angel goes forth to seal the servants of God in their foreheads? If the believers in the truth are not sustained by their faith in these comparatively peaceful days, what will uphold them when the grand test comes and the decree goes forth against all those who will not worship the image of the beast and receive his mark in their forehead or in their hand? This solemn period is not far off. Instead of becoming weak and irresolute, the people of God should be gathering strength and courage for the time of trouble. For the time of trouble. Let us go on to now. Since we define what the mark, the seal of God is, we got to see what the mark of the beast is. John was called to behold a people distinct from those who worship the beast or his image by keeping the first day of the week. The observance of this day is the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is the papal Sabbath, which is Sunday. When the time comes, it will be clearly shown what the mark of the beast is. It is the keeping of Sunday. The sign or seal of God is revealed in the observance of the seventh-day Sabbath, the Lord's memorial of creation. The mark of the beast is the opposite of this, the observance of the first day of the week. He causeth all, both small and great, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Revelation 13:16. Not only are men not to work with their hands on Sunday, but with their minds they are to acknowledge Sunday as the Sabbath. When the mark of the beast is received, no one has yet received the mark of the beast. Sunday keeping is not yet the mark of the beast. Sunday keeping is not yet the mark of the beast, and will not be until the decree goes forth, causing men to worship this idol Sabbath. The time will come when this day will be tested, but that time has not yet come. God has given men the Sabbath as a sign between him and them, as a test of their loyalty. Those who, after the light regarding God's law comes to them, continue to disobey and exalt human laws before the law of God in the great crisis before us, will receive the mark of the beast. Let me read this again. God has given men the Sabbath as a sign between him and them, as a test of their loyalty. Those who, after the light regarding God's law comes to them, continue to disobey and exalt human laws above the law of God in the great crisis before us, will receive the mark of the beast. The Sabbath will be the great test of loyalty, for it is the point of truth especially controverted. When the final test shall be brought to bear upon men, then the line of distinction will be drawn between those who serve God and those who serve him not. While the observance of the false Sabbath, in compliance with the law of the state, contrary to the fourth commandment, will be an avowal of allegiance to a power that is in opposition to God, the keeping of the true Sabbath in obedience to God's law is an evidence of loyalty to the Creator. While one class, by accepting the sign of submission to earthly powers, received the mark of the beast, the other, choosing the token of allegiance to the divine authority, received the seal of the living God. Commandment says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy servant, nor thy stranger within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all them is, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and holiday. Saturday is the seventh day, and the Sabbath of the Lord, my friend, not Sunday. Respect God's Sabbath.